Oh, hi, welcome. It's time for my town hall and campaign update today. And my news, hot news right now is that my little phone holder, one of the arms has broken. So I'm not able to put the phone in a good position at the moment, but I'm going to try. So pardon my adjusting, but hopefully soon I'll have it in a reasonable position where we can really start. There, I think that's good. So I don't have the flag behind me, so I'm wearing my flag here. Welcome. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, and I am a candidate for President of the United States. And this is my town hall and campaign update. Not necessarily in that order. So let me first tell you what is going on. I'm trying to get this still with the broken arm. It's not helping so much. So I'm on the road, and my flag is in another area than where I am right now, so we'll just have to deal with it this way. Okay, wait, I think I got it. I'm trying to get me to be a reasonable, there. Okay, I think that's really it now. Let me fix my sweatshirt and then we can go. Okay. So yeah, campaign update. So I still have the lawsuit pending. I have not heard back from the Supreme Court, and I am still working at communicating my disappointment in the fact that my vote was not counted, and as a presidential candidate, I was not considered a eligible candidate because I wasn't registered in a few states. And so it's really hard to be a candidate and to get your message out there, especially when you have all these people trying to silence you. And it's really not easy. I did get out there, and a lot of people did hear about me. I went through other lines of reporting rather than the usual ones. And then, I have my RV that I've been driving around the country, and people have been checking me out. They're checking out my website, at least. And I know I got some votes in some states, and I don't know if I got votes in other states that just weren't recorded, but it's tough. If you're not in the big political parties where they got lots of money to pay the media to stay silent about other candidates, it's really hard to get noticed. But I did get some notice, and I think I'm still being noticed. Most people that I meet are agreeing with my policies, and so it's yeah. There are a lot of good people out there with ideas, and there are a lot of people who like my ideas. So, I think as far as campaign-wise goes, it's fine. The Supreme Court, I'm waiting for them to act. In the interim, I will maybe start up a new lawsuit. I know I've talked about that before, and it's sort of time to do that now because I'll soon be done with some of my other obligations, and then I can move forward with that. And what else? I would like to call for a ceasefire Right now, everybody seems absorbed with what Donald Trump is doing with the tariffs, and I think he's doing fine with the tariffs. You have to realize that, one rule and then the next gets changed, and then there's like stepping stones when you're setting up your platform. And so, in my opinion, he's going in the right direction as far as my platform goes, because I want to bring jobs back to the USA. We have all the necessary resources we need right here in this country. What we don't have is people trained at doing whatever is needed to produce the things that are needed. So this is where our downfall is. We outsourced a lot of things. We outsourced a lot of things to make it cheaper. And now we're paying the price because we got a lot of people who are out of work or people who are under-skilled. And this is what we have to fix. So, my platform calls for apprenticeships for all. And I think we need everybody doing something. And then we can maybe pick and choose who we really do business with. But I don't think we need to. We are a big country and we have really all the resources we need. We truthfully don't need to go out of country to get anything. We have it all right here. But in the past, we were in this global economy where, we were getting things from here and there and other places. And it's just time to stop that. We're not a small country. We're not a Luxembourg and we're not a Liechtenstein. We got everything we need. So, why are we acting like a small country when we're a big country? And I don't know. So, sadly, the government has been working somewhat against the people, and it's going, I think, in a good way to work for the people. I know some people are unhappy and think that, things are looking not pro-USA at the moment, but I think they are quite pro-USA. So campaign-wise, we're not even hearing about the wars anymore, but a ceasefire within the U.S., please. I think there was another something. I don't remember. I think it was about a week ago. I don't know. We do have storms coming through. So, be smart about the storms, gather some batteries for a light and, find a safe place if there's a tornado coming or strong winds or whatever. Be careful. Be smart. And if you're in a flood zone, then maybe get someplace higher. I'm going to say that every town needs a flood and tornado plan to keep their residents safe. And there should be places to go to get shelter, whether it's at your school or at your auditorium, your sports center. These would be places where people could get shelter. So if you're in an area where it's really bad weather is coming, then maybe look to your mayor, your town hall to find out what to do. And if they don't know, then maybe go to your county and find out where they have set up a safe place. This is town and county work that needs to be done. U.S. citizens need to be safe, and visitors too. So, I am on the road in my RV, so I also have to take shelter and be careful of the winds and rains, and it's very good to be aware of your surroundings and your weather. So that's my campaign update for right now. I hope to have other news maybe in about 2 weeks, because then I might start a new lawsuit, because I don't know what the Supreme Court's doing. So I just can't take the cheating and the fraud. When U.S. citizen votes go uncounted, it's unacceptable. So, and then town hall wise, I don't know. What should we talk about? The roads. The roads are still really a problem, I have my mother traveling with me right now, and, the bumpy roads and the roads that are like uneven, it's unacceptable. This is not what our senior citizens and our mothers and fathers and grandparents should have to deal with. When they've got a car full of people, or, if you're trying to help out your elderly parent and you go someplace and there are potholes everywhere, it's just not acceptable. I call again on the towns and the local counties to get to work and fix their potholes, fix their sloppy road work. There's no need to have roads that go like this on steep inclines or down hills. It's dangerous. You know it, I know it, and it's unacceptable. So I think, the highway departments in all the states need to do a better job. But ultimately, the money for a lot of these roads comes from Congress. And Congress seems to have no trouble giving themselves raises. But when it comes to the roads, are we getting enough of a raise on our road work? Do we have construction people who are, engineers and whatnot, who are maybe cutting corners to make a better profit? It might be time to get the Army involved, the National Guard, and use proper engineering to do the work. Because when I drive on some of these roads, I get seasick after a while. And it's not pleasant. There's nothing fun about driving on some of these roads. And then they're dangerous too. And so, it is a national emergency, some of our roads. We need to get the National Guard in and get them fixing potholes and fixing up the roads. This is not acceptable for U.S. citizens, especially mothers and fathers and grandparents, or people helping out a handicapped person, or, a daughter taking her mother for a trip. It's not acceptable. So if you are also in agreement with the roads need to be fixed in the USA, please contact your governor, contact your congresspeople. The Congress is the one who pays for the postal roads, and most roads are postal roads. And like I said, they seem to have no problem giving themselves raises. But when it comes to the public's roads, something goes wrong there. And then budgeting wise with the states, I don't know, something goes wrong there too. So we need it's an emergency. We need help. We need the National Guard. to come and use their talents and rebuild our roads. That's what I think. And yeah, we got way, I don't know, things just got way out of control. I've been to 48 of our 50 states over the last year, and the roads suck in most states. They're pretty bad. There might be sections that are nice, but for the most part they're bad. And just to let you know too, sometimes I might be driving in the left lane or in a lane that you don't think I should be driving in. And sometimes I'm driving in that lane because sometimes there's winds coming from one side or the other. So to have a wind coming, it sometimes is weaker if I'm in one lane or another. Then another reason why is because the other lane that's available might be in such bad shape that I'm tired of driving on roads like that, so I will drive in the nicer road. And then it could be that I'm passing somebody, you know, all the usual reasons for going into another lane. But really, if the roads are bad in the other one, I might be in the nicer lane. And I'm not going to leave it. I'm going to stay there. So if you want to drive on the road that is pothole ridden, you can do that. But I'm not going to. Especially if I'm paying tolls, I'm definitely not doing that. And I pay a lot of tolls. Then, yeah, weather plays a big role. If I think there's a lot of ice in one lane, I might move to the other. Or if it's windy, like I said, I go with that. I also don't like to be on the edge of roads, so I move to the middle because you never know when a gust of wind is coming. So I'd much rather be safe, and I'd much rather have you be safe, and I'd much rather keep my vehicle upright rather than flipping over or something and maybe hurting you as well. So please be careful. And know that when I'm driving, I keep everything in mind, your safety and mine. So I guess ultimately this is a road safety town hall, right? I mean, you know, I have other views on driving and road safety and things that need to be done, but these are the main ones. And that's about it. So no one is here again to talk with me, so I will leave it at this. And if you choose to ask a question or write a message, please do in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more the merrier. Okay, I think that's about it for now. I don't have much more to say. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I am a candidate for president, and my website is susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, usa.com. And go and have a look at what I'm doing there. I also have a link to my art page, which is Mod and Art. You can find out what I'm doing with my mod and artwork right now. And that's my news. So thanks. It was nice chatting with you. I wish you a nice day wherever you are. Bye for now.